Mudwtr built a $400 million brand with Facebook ads in under 5 years, and they did it in one of the most competitive markets in the world, coffee. But these results weren't possible because they had better ads or media buying than everyone else. In fact, the more I studied their brand, the more I realized their success had very little to do with Facebook ads. It was actually a masterclass in category creation. In this video, I'm gonna break down the exact 3-step formula Mudwtr used to make competition irrelevant and become one of the fastest growing direct-to-consumer brands in the world. And a little later, I'll break down the exact ads and landing pages they used to acquire millions of customers. But it all starts with the genius in step 1, which is creating a blue ocean. If you look at the brands that scale the fastest, whether it's Athletic Greens, Liquid Death, or 8 Sleep, one thing they almost all have in common is they position themselves in a blue ocean. So instead of competing for market share like everyone else, they create a new category to make competition irrelevant. And Mudwtr did this incredibly well. Here's how they did it. The market they went after was coffee drinkers, which is a massive total addressable market. Roughly 66% of Americans drink coffee daily. That's over 200 million people in America alone. But here's the key. Most people don't drink coffee because they love coffee. They drink coffee because they want the outcome that coffee provides, which is more energy. Coffee is simply the vehicle to get the energy. And while coffee delivers energy for most people, it also creates a lot of problems for people, like anxiety, jitters, poor sleep. But people keep drinking coffee because they don't have a better option. And this leads me to one of the most important marketing lessons I've learned. And once I understood this, I was able to create offers and products that scaled a lot easier on ads. You see, in every market, there's 3 segments of buyers. Segment 1 is the diehards. These people love the current solution. It's part of their identity. So think people who love coffee culture. Selling these people a coffee alternative is damn near impossible because they love the existing solution. It's like trying to convince a hardcore iPhone user to switch to Android. Like, they'll probably beat your ass. Now, segment 2 is the satisfied. These people are getting decent results with the current solution, but they're open to something better. Think someone who drinks coffee, gets some energy from it, and life's pretty good. They're not actively looking to switch, but if something clearly better comes along, they'll listen. Now, this group is medium difficulty to sell. Now, segment 3 is the frustrated. And this is by far the easiest segment to sell in the market because these people hate the current solution, but they tolerate it because they want the outcome it provides. So these are the people who drink coffee but deal with jitters, anxiety, crashes, poor sleep, the shits, right? They hate the side effects of coffee, but they keep drinking it because they need energy and they don't know a better solution exists. And here's the big takeaway. All you have to do to sell this frustrated segment is throw rocks at the existing solution and present a new solution. And they'll basically throw money at you. And this segment is exactly who Mudwtr targeted. Out of the 200+ million coffee drinkers in America, millions of them fall into this frustrated segment. So Mudwtr positioned their product as an organic coffee alternative that gives you energy and focus without the jitters and crash. So the same outcome they want, but a different vehicle without the downsides they hate. And when they positioned their product this way, sales became much easier because they were no longer competing against Starbucks or Folgers, but they opened up a whole new category. Now, there was another important piece to how Mudwtr created this blue ocean, which was their branding, because creating a new category isn't just about what you say, it's also about how the product looks and feels. If you look at Mudwtr's branding and packaging, everything feels different. The black packaging, the minimal design, the earthy aesthetic. It doesn't look like a traditional coffee brand. And that's the whole point. They're positioning themselves as a completely different way to get energy and focus, and their branding reinforced that. When you buy Mudwtr, there's almost a feeling like you discovered something magical before everyone else has, which fits perfectly with their target customer. Mudwtr isn't built for the hustle at all cost crowds. It's built for the wellness enthusiast. Like, think the health conscious California crowd that does 6 a.m. yoga, eats 5 avocados a day, and is always looking for ways to live more intentionally. And that's exactly what Mudwtr's branding communicated. It made the product feel different before you even took your first sip. And when your branding and positioning align like this, marketing becomes dramatically easier. Now let's look at the ads Mudwtr used to bring their positioning to life and scale. And I want to start by showing you one of the original Instagram posts they used to launch the brand that the founder mentioned started driving sales right away. And it's literally a black and white text post that says, "We're not mad at coffee, we're just disappointed, so we made something better." Now, the reason I want to show you this first is because it reinforces the idea that if you get the positioning right, the product basically sells itself. Think about it. This post has no fancy editing, no UGC, no expensive production. It's just a simple text post, and it worked. One of the biggest mistakes I see brands make is they put so much weight on creative formats, or targeting, but they have shit positioning or their product isn't differentiated. So they're trying to outmarket a fundamentally average product. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. You're focused on the wrong thing. Because if you have a unique product and strong positioning, scaling ads becomes so much easier. But if you have an undifferentiated product, you can have the best creatives, the best targeting and media buying in the world, but it won't sell it. And the maxim I like to use as a reminder for myself is professionals focus on positioning, amateurs focus on ads. Now let's look at 3 core buckets Mudwtr uses in their ads to drive attention at scale. Bucket number 1 is attacking coffee directly. And the goal of these ads is to position coffee as the problem and Mudwtr is the new solution. So these ads attack the cause of the problem, which is coffee itself. So let's look at a few of them, starting with this video ad.
I'm breaking up with coffee. Big Coffee lied to me.
So right away, we have the hook in this video ad, which is great, saying, I'm breaking up with coffee and Big Coffee lied to me. Now again, there's 200 million daily coffee drinkers in America. So if in this video ad, the hook is, I'm breaking up with coffee and Big Coffee lied to me, a chunk of them are gonna be like, wait, why is she breaking up with coffee? How has Big Coffee lied to her? And they're hooked in and they wanna hear the story. So this is a great hook. Let's continue.
I was promised energy, I got anxiety. I was promised alertness, I got jitters. I was promised focus, I got nothing but afternoon caffeine crashes.
So now she introduces the problems that she was facing drinking coffee. She mentioned, I was promised energy, I got anxiety. I was promised alertness, I got jitters. Now, who is this messaging targeting? This is going after the frustrated segment I talked about earlier, because these are people who are drinking coffee to get more energy, but they're dealing with things like anxiety, jitters, crashes, lack of sleep. Like this messaging right now is music to their ears. They're like, yes, I'm dealing with the same thing. I have this problem. And now they're open to hearing more about a potential solution. So let's continue.
So I'm breaking up with coffee. It's over. This is Mudwtr. It's a coffee alternative made from masala chai, cacao, and adaptogenic mushrooms and herbs. There's lions made for focus, cordyceps for natural energy, plus chaga and reishi to support your immune system. It gives me sustained energy throughout the day, and it tastes so good, without the jitters or crash of coffee.
And just like that, she introduces Mudwtr as the new solution and how Mudwtr allows her to get the upsides of coffee of more energy and focus without the downsides of coffee of crashing, anxiety, and jitters. Very simple 3-step script, which is you have the hook in the beginning, you introduce the problems of the product, and then you introduce the new solution, which is essentially saying get all the upsides without the downsides. Next, let's look at an image ad where we have a classic comparison, where we have coffee on the right, which says greater than 100 milligrams of caffeine plus nothing else equals anxiety, jitters, poor sleep, gut issues, dehydration, and dependency. And then we have Mudwtr on the left, which is 35 milligrams of caffeine plus over 2,000 milligrams of adaptogens equals energy, focus, immune support without the jitters and crash. So that's the first bucket, which is attacking coffee directly. Bucket number 2 is leading with the problem. And the goal of these ads is to agitate the pain they're experiencing with coffee to get their attention. And these ads focus on the symptoms people experience drinking coffee. So let's break down a few of them, starting with this video right here. This video has no sound, so let's play it. So super simple ad. You can see it's leading with the problem. It's saying drop jitters, choose calm power. Because what is the biggest pain point that people typically experience while drinking coffee? It is jitters and anxiety. So they're leading with that problem to get attention and then showing the alternative solution, which is calm power by drinking Mudwtr, which is 100% organic. Next, let's look at a few image ads in this bucket. So this image ad right here, we have the headline that says jitter killer. And if you look at a lot of Mudwtr's ads, they use the word jitters over and over again in their ads. And they probably realize directly from the customer's mouth, this is the wording that they use. And this message works well with them, which is jitter killer. They have that at the headline, then they have a product shot, and then they have some benefits saying energy, immunity, no jitters, focus, and over 1 million happy customers. Again, this is leading with the problem of jitters. And then we have one more image ad example here with the headline up top saying natural energy without the crash. Again, it is leading with the problem, which is crashing of coffee. So it's saying natural energy all day without the crash. So those are bucket 2 ads, which is leading with the problem. Real quick, if you want to scale your ads faster, you can get a free custom scaling roadmap from our team breaking down step by step exactly what you need to focus on to scale your ads to the next level. Simply go to scalewithless.com/roadmap or the first pinned comment below to get yours today. All you have to do is answer a few questions about your business, and we'll send you a tailored plan showing you what to focus on for your specific stage and give you the tools and systems to execute the plan so you can start seeing results. Again, go to scalewithless.com/roadmap or the first pinned comment below. Now let's get back to the video. Bucket number 3 is lifestyle and routine ads. And the goal of these ads is to show how Mudwtr fits into a healthier, more enjoyable daily routine that increases things like focus and productivity. So let's break down a few of these ads starting with this first video here. So I love that hook right in the beginning saying it's not just a drink, it's your morning. And it's really implying how Mudwtr can kickstart that morning routine and really start off a good, productive morning. So let's keep going here. And you can see it's implying by having Mudwtr first thing in the morning, you're gonna start experiencing things like productivity. Like you can see the top frame here is a person basically being super productive on the phone, getting a lot of work done, supposedly because of Mudwtr. And this person at the bottom who didn't have Mudwtr is basically struggling to focus and being a groggy little shit. Let's keep going. Your body's beat by the window seat. So that's a great ad. You know, it's also showing, I mean, Mudwtr looks pretty sexy in that video, right? Like especially this frame right here in the cup. Like, I mean, who doesn't want to drink that? It looks like a nice hot chocolate bomb. But you can see it's really highlighting the lifestyle of Mudwtr and starting it as part of your morning ritual and routine to kickstart yourself to get a lot of things done and stay productive and focused throughout the day, which is one of the core outcomes that their target customer wants. Now let's look at one of their image ads for this bucket. And you can see right here, very straightforward. We have the text up top saying your new morning ritual, feel focused, calm, and alert, and a product shot. So now that you've seen the 3 buckets of ads that Mudwtr uses to get people's attention and click, let's break down their landing page to turn those clicks into sales. So this is one of Mudwtr's landing pages, and let's break down the first element on this page, which is their headline, which says energy and focus without the jitters. So right away, they're communicating the end outcome that their customer wants, which is energy and focus without the jitters. Notice how they're not talking about the ingredients in Mudwtr or anything like that. They're promising the outcome because nobody buys based on the ingredients. They're buying based on the outcome your product provides. So many landing pages that I see where the conversion rate isn't great is they're not talking about the outcome of the product. They're talking about their product specifications that nobody cares about. Mudwtr does this right. That is why they lead with the outcome saying energy and focus without the jitters. Then below this headline, we have a sub-headline that says our OG blend is a coffee alternative made of 100% organic cacao, masala chai, and mushrooms to give you natural energy and focus without the jitters and crash. So what are they doing here? They're communicating what makes Mudwtr unique and how it's different from coffee. They're saying this is a coffee alternative, it's 100% organic, and you get the upsides of natural energy and focus without the downsides of jitters and crash. So in this first 2 elements here, right away on the page, we are promising the outcome that the target customer wants, which is energy and focus, and it's communicating how it does this in a unique way using organic ingredients and how they can get those outcomes of energy without the jitters and crash, which is great. There's also a very clear product shot and a very clear aesthetic of how it looks. Then we have a call to action that says try it and save $20 with less risk because there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. And then when you scroll down, there is social proof as well, showing 50,000 5-star reviews and a quote from one of the biggest fitness influencers, Thomas DeLauer, saying Mudwtr is pretty much the best substitute for coffee that you can ultimately get. Because in order for someone to buy a product, in most cases, is they have to see proof that other people have tried it and got the outcomes and the claims that this brand is promising. And by having 50,000 5-star reviews and a testimonial from one of the biggest fitness influencers, that is social proof, that is credibility. So now at this point, look at what has been communicated all in the above the fold section of this page. And the above the fold section is a page people see before they have to scroll down. This is the most important section. So right away, we have a headline that communicates the outcome that customers want. We've already communicated what makes the product unique. There's a call to action. There's limited risk because there's a 30-day money-back guarantee and social proof. Mudwtr does an excellent job on this page, packing this page with those 4 elements all above the scroll. And then when you scroll down, all we're doing here in this section is Mudwtr simply communicating what the product is, how to drink the product, the ingredients, just the basics and fundamentals here. But the key thing here, the reason this landing page works well is because it is congruent with the messaging of the ads that people are coming from. Like if you look at the ads that we broke down in the previous section, it is talking about how this product can get you energy and focus throughout the day without the jitters. And that's the messaging in the ads. And now when they land on this landing page, that message is being communicated all the way throughout. So it's congruent. One of the biggest reasons I see landing pages not convert, apart from the copy just sucking, is because the landing page is not congruent with the messaging that the viewer saw beforehand. But Mudwtr does a very good job keeping it congruent all the way throughout and making sure it has the key elements that are needed for a very clean, simple conversion. So that's Mudwtr's landing page. Super simple, clear, and effective. So now that we reviewed how Mudwtr positioned their product, the ads they used, and the landing pages that converted customers, here's some of the key action items you can take away from this breakdown. And don't feel like you need to implement all of these at once. If you can take just one insight away from this video and apply it to your business, that's more than enough. So action item number 1 is, can you create a blue ocean? And here's how to do this. Ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, what outcome does my customer want? Number 2, what existing solutions are they using to get that outcome? And number 3, what problems are they experiencing with the existing solutions? Then position your product as a new way to get that outcome without the problems they hate. That's exactly what Mudwtr did. People wanted more energy. Coffee was the existing solution. They dealt with problems like jitters, anxiety, crashes, and poor sleep, so Mudwtr positioned themselves as a coffee alternative to get energy without all of those downsides. Now, action item number 2 is, can you target the frustrated segment in your market? Because remember, in almost every market, there's 3 groups of buyers: the diehards, the satisfied, and the frustrated. And the frustrated segment is almost always the easiest group to sell, because these are the people who hate the existing solutions, but they continue using them because they don't know a better option exists. So ask yourself, who's frustrated in my market? What do they hate about the current solutions? And how can I build my messaging around those frustrations? And if you get this right, getting sales becomes so much easier. Action item number 3 is, find the common enemy. One thing Mudwtr did incredibly well was creating a common enemy. For them, it was coffee, because nothing unites people faster than a shared frustration. So ask yourself, what is the common enemy in your market? Or who's the common enemy? What are people already frustrated with? What belief, process, product, or competitor can you position your product against? And finally, action item number 4 is your funnel communicating the right things? Once you've got the positioning right, make sure your ads and landing pages clearly communicate 4 things: the problem you solve, the solution, what makes your product different, and proof that it works. Don't overcomplicate it. That's exactly what Mudwtr did throughout their funnel. And it's one of the reasons they were able to scale so successfully. So I hope you found this breakdown helpful. Let me know in the comments if you like this format, and I'll make sure to do more of these. Happy scaling, and I'll see you in the next one.